Welcome back here, 2023 Sunshine State Major. Matty Marshall, blessed to have Alex Frazier up here, San Diego Dynasty, Hormesis, Field 1, to help me call this set. And Dynasty, as always, looking pretty good. You guys had a pretty hard war, though, against Los Angeles Infamous. Can't wait to see the set that's coming up, as you guys are going to be taking on X Factor. Both you guys are undefeated. Both you guys are looking really good, looking like you know the field. This one right now, it's going to be Houston Heat and Revo. Revo still in the fight with a nice win over the Ironmen. But they lost both their games yesterday. If Revo can summon the spirit to beat Houston Heat, then we'll see them on Sunday. Houston Heat, though, looks pretty good out here. I mean, they've been relatively masterful on this field, and they I wouldn't say they beat up on Diesel, but they put up a ton of points, and we're completely controlling that match against AC Diesel. AC Diesel going home at 1-3. We will not see them on Sunday, so they're going to have to reboot. Jumping into this first point, though, looks like Ryan Moore going to take some ground on a secondary and then go right into D3. And then here comes Benny Carroll. He's going to hit the deck there on your screen. And Revo taking ground early, getting to that 50 brick. And here comes San Monville's been playing great for Houston Heat. He also is going to get into that wedge structure. And then here comes Ryan Moorhead charging into D4, looking cross field. How do you like this field here, Alex? What do you think?
It's definitely a cerebral field. You know, it's a move maker's field, but also a thinking man's field. So it's a nice mix up. You know, you got to be able to understand, you know, where the other team, their guys are in the count and how to break it down. But certainly whoever has the advantage on points has the advantage in the game. So if you're in control of the match, you can play it a much more conservative way and more effectively. Also here, Heat, you know, they're already in. They're 3-0. Revo, I think, I don't know, I think they're out, but maybe fighting for a wild card. So
yeah, they're fighting for a wild card.
Yeah, I would see Heat here playing a little bit more loose, which they already have. I mean, they took the snake out the break with the new guy Connor Kelly, and Ryan Moorhead hitting the Doritos hard over there. So yeah, a little bit more aggression out of Heat here than typically. Looks like a 2-on-2.
Well, we just saw Monville come through. A couple bodies came off of that move. Ryan Moorhead also walking off with one of Revo's bodies from that top side. So here on a little bit of a counterattack, Baltimore Revo able to get past the 50. He's got to deal with two bodies. Still two bodies alive on the field right now. For Houston Heat, got Tyler Harmon at the tower, and then they just made a move out to the back corner bunker there on the D side.
2-on-2 with Tyler and Fedorov. That's a tall order. I want to shout out Rich Telford, too, for leaving a messy open bag of Doritos up here.
Are you hungry? You want a little snack before your next set? Oh, it's empty?
Maybe, no, there's some crumbs in here, but I don't know where his fingers have been, so I'm going to pass on those.
I got some trail mix, like 15 people put their hands in. Do you want some of that?
Say, would you like a chocolate-covered pretzel?
So, yeah, 2-on-2 situation here is, man, really long points on this layout, and we're down to 12:30.
Fedorov's looking to make a move, and he does, and he takes out the center player for Revo.
Ooh, look at this, though.
Now
Revo.
it's a one-on-one.
Yeah, so Revo, I think that might be Henry Sense. He was able to run out wide and get the drop in on Fedorov, so that's a beautiful move by Henry Sense. Or is that?
Oh, and Tyler Harmon dots him in the face from across the field. And
well, I got another red and gold coin for you, Tyler, as you've got a decent amount of those the past year and a half or so.
Yeah, that guy's really good. He used to be on Dynasty.
He did.
We annoyed him too much, though, and he left the team. Anyway, what a shot. Crossfield in the face.
Yeah, didn't even take much time either. You know, typically one-on-ones, dust settles, and then guys will battle it out for a little bit.
I almost stopped watching, honestly. When you see Tyler getting a one-on-one, you can just you can beat the crowd and just pack up and pretty much bet on he won it.
Yeah, he's getting to be that good in one-on-ones. He's winning a lot more of them than he loses. A couple guys in the league are at that level. Jacob Edwards has won a lot of one-on-ones. He won another one here this weekend, so going to get another coin. Again, courtesy of Coin Duel. We'll talk a little bit about that with Alex. Also stuff going on with Hormesis and Field 1 as we make our way through this set. And then we will see Dynasty play X Factor. Looking forward to that one.
And here comes the Hurricanes on a roll. I think they're already in, right? Are they 3-0?
The Hurricanes, they beat Revo, but they dropped to Heat by 2.
Okay,
so they're at 2-1 right now. And the Ironmen are also sitting at 1-2. So if the Ironmen can find a way to win this one, then they will have a chance to catch a wild card, depending on the spread.
Yeah, and it's nice to see, you know, Hurricanes getting in there and upsetting AC Diesel. I mean, AC Diesel spent a lot of money and time bulking up this offseason with some star players, and you know, Hurricanes are kind of coming into their own with some team paintball, so it's refreshing to see.
Yeah, they lost Smith in the offseason, but then they picked up Nick Ripple. And really believe in Nick Ripple's talent. Probably going to take him a little bit of time to kind of figure out. And barely he's played with the team yet, so.
Well, look, if Matty Marshall believes in your talent, you're doing something right. So shout out to Nick Ripple.
So right now, though, first to go, the Ironmen definitely pushing the issue. Talk to me a little bit about aggressiveness versus a little bit of defense on this field, because it's been back and forth a little bit here.
Right, so it's a very unorthodox field, and there's far up spots on both sides and in the middle that are fairly makeable early. So making aggressive move mid-game without knowing the information of where these guys are is not a lot of the smart players are doing it, because you could get picked up by a bandit that you don't know about. So if you don't know, don't go, sort of thing, and that's why you're seeing these long points.
Yeah,
I thought of that phrase, by the way.
Hey, that's clever. I'm stealing that. For sure. So the Ironmen with 5 strong here with a little bit of penetration in the center. Just had a little bit of a retreat out of that wedge to get up. So Hurricanes slightly better field position. Well, for a second, I thought Ridgel was going to launch to get up into that, up into the brick. The one question, though, Alex, that's interesting, though, is that we're having some teams having no problems getting to the bricks, getting up and getting some penetration, get some real estate, but then having a really hard time advancing past that. So, but then some teams aren't. They are getting up there, and then it's efficient. So, and it's really gone back and forth.
Well, the benefit of getting to those front spots in the middle, those big bricks, is to be there unnoticed. As Ironmen lose a player from the center, to be unnoticed. And if you start playing looking for kills, then they're going to notice you and be able to, number one, not make a sloppy move into your gun, and number two, try to make a calculated takedown on you.
Yeah.
So that's why you see those center players playing it very carefully and watching a zone instead of, wrapping and busting and playing real big.
So Ironman right now, Stuart Ridgel's going to make he had one of the best moves. He got $500 at stake, courtesy of the
awesome.
Mary Catherine and Pate Smith family. 500, and then 1,000 for on Sunday. And Stuart Ridgel's definitely in the conversation with this beautiful 3-pack that he had yesterday. Guy's legit. They also have taken some ground on the D side, getting into D4, but they're pretty deep, man. That's the thing with the Hurricanes. I mean, still a lot of their guys are a little bit unknown, but I mean, they get contributions from. You're not going to make Sundays on a regular basis, and be hanging with these top teams, first-year pro like they did last year, if you're not getting contributions from a lot of different guys.
No, they're not to be taken lightly, and they're a consistent team last year. And right off the bat here, they've come in with more or less their same group of guys, and they're consistent but better.
Yeah.
So that's what you see with a group of guys that stick together. It's really not all about having superstar talent. It's about learning the game, learning how each other plays, and being on the same page. So, I love teams like that, because that's, more or less how we started Dynasty, is with, people that like to be around each other and play together. And look at these guys now. They're in there, and they, took out guys like Mouse and J-Rab and Spica, and all, like, those are superstar talent. And they ended up coming out on top because of Team Paintball. So now you see, the Ironmen are kind of in a rebuild situation, but again, they're having a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, the Ironmen on a rebuild, bringing Shane Pastana back in, bringing Mike Paxton to help coach with Nikki, and then rebuild, going through multiple tryouts, and they have a big roster, which I'm sure will at some point in time maybe get a little pared down. They're also missing Patty Gleason. Congratulations to the Gleason family, as he just had a baby. But yeah, I mean, they could be a force to be reckoned with this year. Made it all the way to the finals last year at the 4th event. Now a little counterattack here. They're going to get a body into the snake, and then they're going to get that kill. Ooh, little collision actually on that D side as Hurricanes trying to fill into D4 as they lost the body from D4, but it cost them both bodies, so a bit of a miscue. Ridgel forced into a tactical retreat. He does make it clean and then gets clipped, so the Ironman now in the driver's seat. Nick Ripple sees the destruction that's happening to his teammates on that D side and tries the desperation run. I like that. Unfortunately, the Ironmen were prepared for it, and they dice him up. So now just one body left alive, it looks like, here for the Hurricanes, and he's going to get taken out. So pretty solid.
Corey Field walking up the center of the field. Nice to see him out there ripping it up. He was on the Ironmen some time ago, and definitely one of those guys that's just always in the mix. So.
That was his twin brother, actually, that was on the Ironmen.
Casey?
Yeah.
Really? Corey wasn't?
Mm-mm.
Huh.
But, yeah.
I know about paintball.
Well, Corey, you actually know quite a bit about paintball. Corey Field, even with the deep roster, he's getting some spins out there because he's shooting bodies on the break and filtering into that position there in the wedge where you really got to be smart. So him and Adam Gomez have been switching off a little bit. They're kind of getting reps for a lot of different guys, though. Shane and Mike and Nikki are putting some different looks out there to kind of see who are our go-to guys going to be. We have a lot of talent. Who's going to step up and become that core starting 5-6? You know, the group of like that. You need like 7 solid guys. You guys are also. It's interesting how you've been mixing up your lineups too here, Alex, and getting spins for everybody, and just kind of I'm also wondering as it gets to Sunday if you're going to run 2 lines. You went to a little bit of a hybrid line to close out that game and get that last win.
Yeah, that's all Skinny Kevin. That's why we pay him, several $1 million a year to
worth
make
every
those,
penny.
To make those
a bargain at twice the price.
Yeah. As Heat loses a player off the break, going out to that Torino corner, it looks like Revo is 5 alive. As Heat loses another one, so now we got a 3-on-5 in favor of Revo, but it looks like O'Mara also walking off. So a 4-on-2 situation, no, 4-on-3 situation here. As Chad, all right, this is. See, he's kind of forcing this into a little bit more of a fist fight. And if you choose to play the field like that, the field plays like that.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't have to be a slow field, but
we saw that in the infamous Legion game. I mean, Infamous themselves scored 8 points. There's been, you guys just scored 3 total points collectively between the two of you. So yeah, if you're right, if both teams want to go at each other, this field can play fast. In fact, that's kind of how I was always trying to talk to different people and figure out how the field's playing while these 20 teams are at their practice sessions. And I was getting some input there. I was like, is it fast, slow? What are you guys thinking? And I mean, Heat, in their first practice session, it seemed like the field was going to be a little fast for them. They have been able to slow it down when they need to, but yeah, so I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, in our practice with the Impact, we figured out fairly quickly that the game was going to be pretty slow with calculated moves up the middle. I mean, we had some really long points, which is unusual for practice, and I feel like tomorrow that's what you're going to see. Yeah, I mean, looking at Revo here, they need to win this one. I mean, I'm not sure if they're on the bubble or not if they win this, but it is an important game just for them as an organization. I think they're playing a top-level team, and Tom Ford's done a great job bringing in some new people there and really trying to make it competitive. So shout out to Revo, and I would like to see them do well, and watch Tom grow that franchise. I don't know, is it a franchise? Would you call it a franchise?
Sure. Yeah, franchise.
As Hurricanes losing the Dorito corner off the break, and Ironmen 5 up.
Yeah, good start for the Ironmen, shooting that crucial body on the break. This field's gone back and forth between lots of 5-on-5 breaks and then lots of bloodbath breaks. It was a little bit more bloodbathy yesterday morning, and then teams have started to figure out how to survive.
Right, so here, Ironmen up a body and up a point. So, you're really in control. But it looks like you got Keith DeVic still pounding, making power moves on that Dorito side. Look at that Lions man. Keith DeVic.
Great hair.
Yeah.
Looks like the Wolverine over there.
Shout out to Keith. So, in this type of situation, you would usually see the 4 guys trying to push into the 5, and the 5 guys being extra careful. As Keith is in a really great spot to carve up those moves on the snake. So, I would foresee him just staying there across instead of trying to put the dagger in and moving further down.
Well, it looks like Al Fernandez is going to get into the tower. The Ironman pushed as Trent Nita out into the back corner bunker. But with 5 bodies alive and a great crossfield spread, and Keith DeVitt to that D3 spot, Gomez in the wedge structure.
And Shane Pastana and Mike Paxson rejoining the Ironman squad on a coaching level. Definitely a lot of experience and will help you believe that you can win.
Every time that Shane's touched the Ironman franchise as a player or a coach, they've won tournaments every single time. It's never not happened. So
I mean, Shane came in last year at the Sacramento tournament and just for fun helped coach, and they got second place.
He's a paintball mastermind and first round inductee into the Hall of Icons.
Yeah, and shout out to Ryan Greenspan. You can go over to Iconic Paintball and or actually just watch Go Sports and check out the midday lunch break time on today, Saturday, and check out the Hall of Icons ceremony. And I'm sure there'll be some info up on Iconic Paintball to reflect that. So shout out to Ryan Greenspan and Quinn Nadeau for putting that together. Certainly a fun and exciting sort of vehicle to pay homage to the people that have made our sport what it is.
100%. 7:40 to go here. A little bit of another longer point. Hurricanes down a body. Ironmen in the driver's seat and starting to stack up bodies a little bit closer. Haven't taken any of the 50s yet because, like you said, Alex, they have a point up on the board, so they have a lead to protect, trying to be smart about moving forward.
What do you talk about usually during these long points up here?
Civil War history. Just lots of, no, I'm just kidding. The good thing about this field, though, look, I don't mind long, slower points as long as things are happening.
Can you tell me more about the Battle of Beauregard?
Battle of Beauregard?
Yeah.
From the Civil War?
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head. There's some decent battles I know, that's a conversation.
How about Stonewall Jackson? Who was he?
Yeah, I can give you a good, yes, I know a decent amount about Stonewall Jackson. I did a deep dive on
As
Gettysburg
here comes the
recently.
move up the middle and does not connect. As Ironmen now go down a body, which they turned an advantage into a disadvantage. And there goes Keith with a little bit too much of a move. Yeah, I mean, Ironmen here, a little bit too ambitious, I feel like, so had the advantage and got a little bit antsy. Certainly a little bit more discipline needed in that situation.
Yeah, so now down to 6:20 on the clock here as it's getting a little interesting in this point.
But good for us and the viewers at home. Hopefully this gets tied up and we have a more interesting situation.
For sure. Are you sure you're not talking about General Beauregard, not the Battle of Beauregard? There was a general that defended Charleston. You gonna Google it right now?
I was talking about General CD.
So here we go. The Hurricanes now pushing on a counterattack. So they took the attack, and now they're bringing it into the Ironman here, and it's going to take Gomez's major penalty assessed here on the Ironman. It could affect the next point because I don't think there was enough bodies to pull.
Battle of Bull Run.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was it. You're right.
Yeah, but there was a General Beauregard.
Yeah, it was his crew over there.
He was a very flamboyant general from New Orleans. Anyway, story for a podcast. But yeah, so now down to 5 minutes and 43 seconds left. As it was looking pretty good for the Ironmen. They had a lead. They had a body advantage. Penalty at the end killed them. It may affect the next point. Got to try to not do that. And you're trying to fight for your lives out here in a tournament. They may be playing at a deficit. Hurricanes could be on a power play, going to have a tie ball game right now, though.
All right, here we go. These two teams lining back up. When we while we're waiting here, how much time before the point? I don't know. We can't see that. Either way, if you don't have anything to do on Tuesdays at 4, don't watch the Spick and Span show. Make an appointment to do something else that day.
I don't know. You're like the third co-host on that show.
If you do have a smartphone, though, you should download the Play the Game podcast. Go check it out. Put that in the queue. A lot of great info on there. I was actually just listening to Connor Kelly's episode. Great kid, a lot of spirit. Came up the right way. So looking forward to seeing him do some good things on Heat. Is he out there? He is.
No, that's Chad. I think they might be running both of them.
I think Connor.
No, they got Connor and Chad. Well, they've been going a little bit back and forth. Mostly, they've been interchanging Chad and Connor as the one on the snake side. It does look like they're going to run Chad and Connor at the same time with Tyler Harmon here.
I mean, you're already in on Sunday. Let the guy have some spins. He's a capable player. Get him in there.
I'm wondering if they're probably going to send Connor as the missile, or maybe they'll send 2 missiles. This might be a big offensive push here for Houston Heat with both Connor Kelly. So they're going to send Connor up, and yeah, a little bit of an aggressive push here. Nothing crazy though. It does produce a kill as Silos Cortez is going to be walking off for Revo. And 5 bodies alive for Houston Heat, so 1 body advantage, 4 on 5. And then on a delay, Chad George gets right into Snake 1, Connor Kelly inside. And Tyler Harmon gets to his position in that tower.
Yeah, as Heat has a really dominant position here. I mean, you can see with the gun set up like this, you're not moving on the Doritos, at least past that back Dorito with Chad playing like that, right? Yeah. Along with Ronnie and Connor Kelly looking this way, it's going to be difficult to make a power move into the Snake. So, I mean, it's all sort of a lockdown situation here. And I could see this point going pretty long unless Revo loses another guy, which they do. And now I think Heat's going to probably start to push.
Yeah, Heat's looking that way from the body language. So Dizon's getting a little squirrely, popping the top here over the wedge. Looking like he might want to move up into that brick. Now he's going to pause for a little bit, shoot that lane on the D side. No lead to protect for Houston Heat. We're under 10 minutes to go, but Heat with this advantage. As soon as they start feeling a lack of pressure, that's the type of team that's always going to take spots. If you're not putting pressure on Houston Heat, they're going to move forward.
And I think this is Caleb Abel here back in the temple for Revo.
Yeah.
As Revo's working on a 3-on-5, they take out Ronnie. So now we're 4-on-3. And I think if you're Revo, you kind of stabilize yourself here, and then you try to make some kind of a push to get this point over with, because I don't think Heat's gonna give you anything. I mean,
looks like another body, Alex, walking off from Revo.
that was
from
the
that
second.
D side.
That was the second guy.
Well, so they're down to 3.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. Fedorov, back corner bunker. Or no, sorry, he's at the insert. He's at that important can. That can's interesting.
What happened here? Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. So, yeah, this can that Fedorov's at's interesting because a lot of bodies being
As
at that
Fedorov
spot.
falls out to the corner and successfully makes it. So Fedorov on an island over there, and you got Tyler Harmon, Chad George, and Connor Kelly loaded up here on the snake side. But Chad is essentially playing the Dorito way right now. He's committed that way, so he's sort of, for lack of a better explanation, a Dorito guy at this point.
Yeah. Well, Heat, knowing that they still have a lot of time to work with and they still have an advantage, so not really in a hurry to go anywhere.
Just see Fedorov here on your screen, talking, communicating, help him break it down. There's a lot of aspects here. Talking, listening, shooting, thinking, breathing, a lot going on.
Yeah, lots of breaths out there. Getting some input from our commissioner, Jason Trozen, as far as how things are breaking down. He actually just sent me a novel, which I don't necessarily have time to read all of yet, but it is a very thorough breakdown of who's going to be moving on and who's not. So
is this it here? This one?
Yes, he sent you one too.
I actually got it a few minutes ago.
I did too. I just checked it.
Okay.
He sent it to me first.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm just kidding. He's probably listening right now. Yeah, I hope everything's good with Jason. He had to leave early. We got an assistant commissioner down there right now, but he's still helping us out, figure out who's going to be moving on.
Got to get the new blood in there, man. Good job. I mean, honestly, this is, in my opinion, the best and the tightest reffing has ever been in paintball. I mean, it's very consistent. I feel like there's a great rapport between the players and the refs. Players miss stuff and the refs miss stuff, and there's just a mutual respect right now, right? At a certain point in paintball history, there was a really adversarial relationship between the refs and the players, but
Absolutely.
now I feel like everyone's here doing a job, and it's pretty cool runnings.
Yeah, when I walk around during the short breaks that we have, I always can tell how the players feel about the reffing with how many people coming over tell me how they feel like things were not going their way and the refs were not giving the benefit of the doubt. I have not heard that very much recently. As another body comes off right now, I think that's Caleb Abel taking the walk here. So a good kill for Houston Heat. Just slowly but surely, methodically grinding down Revo here in this point, burning clock off with 6 minutes and now 30 seconds left to go, with Konstantin Fedorov making his move a little earlier into D1. Revo getting way back off. Henry Sense is way up off his spot to get outside wide, and he does.
Well, I mean, Chad's looking at the Dorito cut that's all the way down the field. So, again, a 4-on-2, and Heat's just melting these guys. If you're Tom 4 or whoever's got their hand on the button over there, you want to think about pressing it here if your guys don't try to win the game, because Heat's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Heat's just going to smother him right now with 6 minutes left to go. I mean, they'd be completely content to take a 2-1 victory and burn 6 minutes off if Revo's down with that. Probably not going to happen, of course. Ooh, Nomara tries to get a little creative. Nothing he could really do in that situation. And then after that death, now they're going to get a concession. So
honestly, that works for Revo. Like, the longer that point goes, think about it. You burn another 2-3 minutes there. That could be the last point of the match.
Yeah, so let's just read some information here from our commissioner. So the Bears advanced due to the head-to-head win over the ML Kings. The ML Kings are on the bubble for the wild card spot. That was actually earlier. So now Heat's on to Sunday. Heat win and the Ironmen win equals Ironmen advance and the Hurricanes on the bubble. If Hurricanes beat the Ironmen, that equals the Hurricanes move on to Sunday, and the Ironmen could be out, and Revo would be onto the wild card with a win. If Revo wins and the Ironmen win by 1, then the Hurricanes will advance, and Revo is on the bubble for a wild card spot. Still got a lot to go, guys. Revo wins by 3 or more, then the Ironmen win by 2, and that means that Revo advances, and the Hurricanes and the Ironmen are on the bubble for the wild card. So the moral of the story here is I'm only about halfway through this, this information as we
If
jump
you
into
pick
the-
your nose and then a butterfly lands on your finger, and then you buy 4 lotto tickets from 4 different convenience stores, you're going to win the lottery.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for the info. Appreciate it.
All right, it looks like we have a 5-on-5 breakout here. Hurricanes and Ironmen getting into it. Do you ever watch the Spick and Span show?
Yeah.
Does it make you sick to your stomach?
No.
What happened?
Well, a bunch of bodies died for the Ironmen, and they started with 3. And so it's a pretty quick point. They're going to reset with 5 minutes and 19 seconds left, and the Hurricanes are going to be up by 1.
All right, thanks for explaining that to me.
Why don't you explain to me what Hormesis has got going on right now?
Man, we're just trying to have a good time over at Hormesis. We got some painters over there. We got tarot card readers, some free haircuts, lots of cool merch, some DJs. I really appreciate all the folks that come out and rock our stuff. So, you know, we're just trying to throw down good vibes, create a good atmosphere, and have fun. So, if you want, you can go check out hormesispaintball.com and you know, buy something if it's available.
And Field 1?
Field 1, you know, our guns are working great. We're dialing in our platform, Form the Force. We got some new products out, some Blackout AccuLock barrel kits. We also have Lux barrel kits available now. So if you shoot a Lux, you can now upgrade to an AccuLock barrel. It looks like Caleb Abel gets picked up going to the corner here, as it's a quick 5-on-4 in favor of Heat. Benny Carroll's probing and gets shot by a crossfield shot.
By Dizon.
Dizon.
Yeah,
Dizon Ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
if you watched all the episodes of the Spick and Span show, you can then go check out Dizon Docs, who has, you know, he's got some great content that he makes, pretty funny stuff and poignant. So, thoughtful and fun content. And I did learn that Mabuhay means hooray in Tagalog.
Love that. So now Ronnie Dizon advances up into, they're going to lose Chad George. He comes off shaking his head a little frustrated by that one. He's like, oh, made a little mistake. Ran into a gun.
Yeah, like if you're playing the snake side and you know that third Dorito over there is hot, you should just not move. Like that's kind of a thing. Like, so if he knew that, it's on him. If he didn't know, then, you know, if you don't know, don't go, I guess.
Yeah, good communication here for Houston Heat with their 4 bodies alive.
Yeah, this tower is like the perfect bunker for Tyler.
Yeah.
He loves it there.
Good gunfighting position.
Has he ever left the tower yet?
Yeah, but he likes to stay there because he typically has 2 bodies in front of him. I think that's Connor. Connor Kelly getting back there to kind of shoot over towards that D side a little bit more, but time is not quite. It's not of the essence yet where Revo needs to run into guns, but it would be really good for Houston Heat if they could burn 2 more minutes off the clock and score another point, because that would make Revo in a do or die, forced into a reckless attack moment in a must-win situation for them to move on.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think Revo's they gotta win it through the Dorito side. As a Rev comes in to check, looks like Omara, and he is good. So yeah, I mean it's a tall order. You gotta go through Fedorov. D's on switch quickly and almost picked up a kill. But that's a good switch. I mean, it looks like Revo, you know, Ronnie realized that Revo wasn't coming over here because they had multiple G's, so he switched here. Yeah, Ronnie's thinking about it. He wants to close this one out.
Yeah, he's got 2 bodies in front of him on that D side. He's gunfighting, using that pin with D4. He's got to worry about D3 as well, too. Connor Kelly's next to him, and Tyler Harmon is just gun turreting from that tower.
Yeah, see, now the move is open over here because that third Dorito guy's looking down the tape. So Tyler or Connor could take a bite here.
Connor now looking more up the center of the field. Let's come off that D side lane.
So it's a 4-on-5 game or 4-on-3 game here. Advantage Heat. Heat is just melting away. I don't think they're going to do anything exceptional to break this down. They just, you know, they're happy with the time ticking down. 2:30 now left on the clock.
Yeah, it's very much looking like Houston Heat's game here to go undefeated in the prelims. leaving us with one set to go to close out the day with Dynasty X Factor, Legion, and the Saints.
How about you, Maddie? Do you think there's been any substantial surprises here at this tournament so far?
Diesel going 1-3 was a bit of a surprise. I would have to say Notorious. So Notorious went 1-3, and they lost all 3 of their games by 1 point, and they won the game they won by 1 point. So that's a really good look from a brand new pro team.
And they got some good. They got Kovar. They got Anthony Bowles from X Factor. So they've got some talent there and some experience.
Yeah, they could be good pretty quick here. So, I mean, that's an insane run not an insane run, but that's a really, really good look in a couple losses against some good teams.
Yeah, there are really no teams that are like really bottom of the barrel now. I mean, everyone you play can bring it.
Well, last year we had 20 pro teams, and every single pro team made Sunday last year. So that's the parity we're at.
I mean, I guess the Saints are kind of the low man on the totem pole at this point.
From what I saw this weekend, yeah, the Saints, who will be playing their last game against Legion, but they've only been able to put 2 points on the board. One or 2 points on the board all weekend long. So
but those guys are working on it, man. I talked to them after we played them, and they want to improve and they want to they want to do better. So I think that they're not just going to fold. I feel like they're going to put up a good fight and try to give it all they have for the rest of the year.
Down to a minute right here, and here comes the attempt. Ooh,
shot
into
man.
the ground.
I don't know how you call that if you're a ref.
And Omar's a tough dude, man. That guy takes a lot of punishment up the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie definitely got hit and then pointed his gun down and was shooting Omar on the ground. I don't know if it should have been a penalty or not, but that's hopefully somebody got that in slow motion, because that'll be a good frame.
That'd be
a good shot, yeah.
That'll be a good reel to post. Yeah, it's
23 seconds left. I don't know. Tom, I guess, is just going to let it burn down here. The 2-on-4.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
2-on-3.
A lot of this information I was getting from our commissioner was Revo needing to win.
Yeah, and you can't die on your feet here. I mean, I've got a problem with that, right? I've got a problem with, yeah, right.
The cardinal sin of paintball is to be alive in your spot, down
Just
by
like
1
this guy.
point.
Who is that?
Henry Sense.
Yeah, so
Is
not feeling
Wait,
that.
hold on. Was it Geiger? No, Sense. Yeah, you cannot be alive in your bunker, down by 1, when your tournament is on the line. It's the cardinal sin of paintball. So, I mean, he did eventually move and got shot, but it was around 5 seconds. So, I mean, even if you feel like there's 5 guys on you, just try, because you never know. Maybe you throw a ball downfield, guy gets hit, major penalty, chaos erupts, and somehow the paintball got shot on you and you pull it out. You never know. But if you hide in your bunker, it's just you're never going to win. So, yeah, Heat's going to take a hard-fought victory here in a very low-scoring game against Revo, and they're going to go undefeated and look like a favorite here. So, I mean, the favorites are as advertised. Dynasty looks good, still 1 to go for them. Impact undefeated. Damage did drop a game to they lose to New York Extreme. New York Extreme looks pretty good. That's a bit of a surprise. Not that they they don't have Harris, and the one game they lost was in overtime by 1 point against Uprising. Other than that, they look really good.
Yeah, I feel like Harris is a great player, but I feel like a lot of what he brought to New York was a little bit distracting. And I feel like those guys have refocused, and now they're really wanting to, not just be a pro team, they want to win.
Yeah.
So, they have Rich Telford at the helm there, who's, he's got experience and a lot of knowledge. And as Ironmen get a penalty.
Ooh, yeah, Ironmen get a penalty here. Alex is going to pull out 2 attackers as that was Trigar, I think, coming through. And pulls out, I think, Hughes. And now down to 3 bodies with 4:32 left to go against the Hurricanes. So Hurricanes in the driver's seat, 5 bodies alive.
Have Hurricanes made Sunday yet?
Yeah, they made Sunday last year. Yeah, they looked pretty good in a couple events last year. Hurricanes did lose a body from that back center, though, so that's going to make it a little more interesting. So it's a 4-on-3 situation in favor of the Ironmen. And the Ironmen have a body at the center brick.
I will say, man, Go Sports has really stepped it up for this event. They've got some good content creators. They've got some cool new cameras and really trying to improve things for you guys. So I feel like, stay tuned to the next couple tournaments, and the content's going to be great. And shout out to all the creators out there. Mafia Moffat, go check out his stuff. He's got a cool podcast and always producing great content. You got Verbal, Brian Wolf from Texas, always on the move, picking up the good shots. Sam Bennett. A ton of other guys that I can't even think of. But you got people out there just trying to do their best to create interesting stuff and have a good time doing it. So shout out to all you guys taking lumps as Ironman player gets roasted at that center 50 as Hurricanes are disciplined and stoic back there with the lead. And as a 2-on-4 develops, you can look for Hurricanes to close the door here as Keith DeVitt is battling for his life in that back corner with fabulous hair.
Yeah, excellent hair. 2-on-4 situation, yeah, really bad spot here. Ripple in a good position for the Hurricanes. They have the lead, and now just going to try to burn as much of this clock off as they can. I was wondering how long are the Ironmen going to let this go, and then finally conceding the point to preserve some time. Going to be down by 2. And so how you feeling about this match against X Factor here, Alex?
Well, we're both in, so I feel like it will be a good match because it's for seeding, right? It's not like a throwaway, so we're going to be battling it. It's Archie's former team, so there's a little bit of a grudge match situation there. Mm-hmm. And X Factor's been playing great, so we want to win. So yeah. I feel like maybe we mix it up a little bit, but we're playing to win either way.
Yeah, but I think it's going to make it a fun game to watch because neither one of you needs a win, so you can play with a little bit more freedom. Might still be keeping some moves in the bag to try to not show your hand, but to me, it's also a story of, well, who looks best then, right? So, it's you guys in X Factor leading that division with Legion, Infamous, and the Saints, and whoever wins this is, going to go in top seed in that division. And
you always want to do that so you don't have to play the wild card round. So, that's a big deal. You get to play later. You get to sleep a little bit more sleep. You get to watch a game. Sometimes if you're top 2, then you get to watch the guys you're going to play, which is nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's not like there's nothing at stake.
So we're in the pits right now with the Ironman. There's Jordan Boyum on the roster. His brother Dylan also on the roster as well too.
Yeah, props to the Boyum brothers, man. Those guys, they paid their dues on DMG, and I feel like, they're gonna bring some valuable assets to the Ironmen.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see because I think they have 12 rostered and they get Gleason back at the next event. They're going to lose Adam Gomez at the next event because his family's having a baby as well too. But are they just going to continue to run that deep all year long? Are they going to pare the roster down? We will see. There's a decent amount of teams that are in a similar situation carrying a lot of bodies.
Yeah, this is a weird one for that too, especially for us. Like, we have 10 capable guys, and if it's a 2-to-1 match, not much playing time. So you got to really kind of swallow your pride and appreciate and support the guys that are out there.
2 minutes 27 seconds left to go. Ironmen lose a body early here from this snake side, and now looks like Gomez is gonna be alive. That was it was Nita, Trent Nita taking the early walk. Hurricanes in the driver's seat yet again with this 2-point lead. So even down a body, the Ironmen are going to have to start running into these guns, trying to make some moves here shortly because they need to just to tie.
He gets picked up going out to the corner, and then it looks like, can't tell who that is there, but he's also taking the walk. So Ironmen down 2. Hurricanes in a dominant position here as a 2-minute mark passes us by.
Yeah, the Hurricanes, man, they're looking good. Beat Diesel. Looks like they're about to beat the Ironmen. Went 1-1 yesterday. They beat Revo.
Solid paintball.
The only team that the Hurricanes have lost to is Houston Heat.
What was that game like?
It was a pretty low-scoring game, 3-1. So, yeah, it wasn't a beating at all. They hung with Heat pretty solid. It was a lot of what we've been seeing, longer points, hard-fought battles in the middle of those points, and then Heat just slowly but surely crawled up, or extended their lead. But yeah, 3-1. That's a pretty close game. So now just a minute left to go. Yeah, it's just looks like the Ironmen are going to be going home. As they need to tie, now under a minute. Hurricanes have the field spread nicely.
Thrilling.
Both back bunkers.
Al Fernandez moving up, trying to put something together as he picks up the corner guy. Nope. So yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do here? I mean, you just gotta go for it. Don't let your coach make the decision. He isn't gonna blow the buzzer. There's only 30 seconds left, so I mean, you can put this one in the books.
Yeah, Fernandez is trying to make something happen. He gets out to the wedge, but man, the story's the same. Hurricanes are just tough. Now, so the question right now, Alex, with some of these up-and-coming teams that are starting to make Sundays is, okay, you made a Sunday, but do you have enough to get deep into Sunday? There's only a couple up-and-coming teams that be able to do that. Level did it early on last year, making it all the way into the semifinals, and they took third.
I'm going to say on this field, yes. I mean, a team like the Hurricanes could do that. And yeah, as that was a very veteran move there. I mean, they saw the opportunity. They knew they were up on bodies. They made a calculated push at the end and got another point on the board with 2 seconds, which, could possibly change the seeding and give them a better chance in their first match tomorrow if they line up against somebody different.
So Hurricanes moving on, Heat undefeated. One more set to go, conclusion of the prelims. Dynasty taking on X Factor. That should be a fun one. So we got to let Alex go, and then Legion taking on the Saints here. 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major. I'm Matty Marshall here on Go Sports. Alex, best of luck.
Thanks, Matty. Don't watch the Spick and Span show. Don't do that.
Tuesdays at 4. Also check out Hormesis, Field 1, and Coin Duel Paintball. All creations from Alex Frazier's brilliant mind. Best of luck, my friend.
Thanks.
Stick with us. We'll be right back.